welcome to day 9 of Vlogmas, the 9th of December. We are starting off on a little adventure. My husband has been jealous of my hoodie. I mean my Billy wearable blanket, not an hoodie. And I ordered some fabric for him to make one for him, but we don't actually have any good matching ribbing. And I think that kind of thing, you really want to match colors in person. There are really not any good fabric shops near me at all, so we're taking a jaunt into St Albans, which is a really pretty town in an area not far from where we live. And there is a fabric shop there that has various colors of cotton ribbing. So we'll have a look and see what else St Albans has for Christmas time, because it usually looks pretty, very pretty this time of year. Right, first time in this particular fabric shop, so hoping we find what we came for. Mostly quilting cotton, which is not a surprise, but honestly, it got what I needed and that's all I care about. But better yet, apparently St Albans is the place to find Postbox toppers for Christmas, guys. What a delightful number 4. We even got a snowball. Someone's gonna be making a snowman. And number 5. I spy with my little eye number 6. Man, this one is huge. And number 7. It clearly is the season. I was on my way home and I spotted something and I had to stop. Number 8. Oh, it's a good one. Well, that whole excursion ended up taking longer than expected, so I don't have a huge amount of time to get some sewing done, but I got a deadline, so I need to get on it. I'm going to be working on my Christmas dress, and I'm hoping to I'd really love to get finished today. If not, at least close to finish, so I don't have very much I need to finish on the day of the party. I just wanted to show you briefly what I am using for the fabric for the hoodie for my husband. So we ordered this fabric from Dunelm Mill. I'm calling it fabric. It's just a blanket. It's just a throw. It's supposed to be a throw. I think they call it teddy fleece throw. Hang on, there's a label. Genuine teddy bear, whatever that means. But the one side, it's like a rich brown orange kind of a tone, and the inside is sort of like a white, but with a little bit of that same color marled on the inside. It is crazy soft, and I'm actually a little bit jealous because I feel like this is probably softer than mine. I think probably the softness is the same as mine on the inside, but the outside, mine's not as soft. I think this is going to be so cuddly and amazing, and he's just going to be like a big teddy bear, which is delightful. And the ribbing that we ended up getting, because there's no way you're going to get the same color, but I just wanted to find a good contrast if we could, is this tubular knitting. It's a marled gray tubular knitting. I feel like the colors go well together. It pops in a cool way. Kind of a modern combination, those colors. And I think it's going to turn out really well. But definitely not ready to start working on that because I got to finish my Christmas dress. right, so the waist tie is stitched on and I think it looks nice and neat. I've sewn up the side seams and the sides of the sleeves before I put the sleeves in, which is opposite to what the directions recommend, but that's how I prefer to put my sleeves in, so that's what I do. But the sleeves went in really well, so I've got the sleeves on, side seams sewn together. I need to hem the cuffs, I need to hem the bottom. So I didn't actually trim the front side yet. So my front side is longer than the back because I, as you know, didn't have enough of the fabric on the back. So I need to just trim these to be level. I thought it would be easier to stitch them together as they are, because then there's no like finagling to try and get them same length. And I wanted this dress to be as long as it possibly could be. So I'm gonna trim the back section or the front section to be the same as the back. I'm gonna hem the sleeves and then I'm gonna try it on and just see what the length looks like, because I might decide that I want to shorten it to be proper short length, or I might be pretty happy with where it is. We'll see. It is so hard to show you guys full length. So I just want to show you that the waist tie here, you can either tie it as a bow at the front, or you can just have it with the gathering at the front and tie it at the back. I actually like either way. With my other one, I tend to tie it at the back, but I think this one looks nice tied at the front as well. So there's no right and wrong. It's just whatever you fancy and whatever I think I feel like doing on the day. This is actually really pretty long, so I must have had to shorten my first version and I just didn't remember. I'm gonna try to just show you guys what the length looks like, but I don't know if I'm gonna get a full body shot in because my apartment's not that big and I don't have that much distance that I can put you guys out. But I love the long sleeves. I think they are really nice and cozy, and they can pull up quite easily, so I can be bare below the elbows at work, or I can pull my sleeves up to wash my hands and make food or whatever I need to do. Let me show you what the length of this is looking like. So I'm actually really happy with it. I feel like it is not the full maxi length, but it is not far from. I'm gonna make the hem as short as I can just to make sure that I can keep it as long as possible. But I think I'm gonna keep it as long as I can because I really like this cozy warm coverage for a winter dress. And that's the last step, apart from figuring out a way to sew in my sewing label, but I've done well. It is 5:15 right now. For dinner we are having jacket potatoes, baked potatoes, with cheese and beans, Heinz beans with some chicken goujons, very much like a kid family kind of a meal, and very much a very British meal. But the baked potatoes I can stick in the oven now and they'll be ready in an hour. So I'm gonna do that and then finish up this dress in the meantime. All right, all done guys. So I decided to add a fabulous on top of the made to party. I actually put the fabulous one on my Christmas dress last year, so it feels appropriate. Obviously a little sparkle is never going to be a bad thing for a Christmas dress, but I think this turned out great. I cannot wait to wear it to my party tomorrow. I'll have to get some proper video footage to show you what it looks like on. All right, so I have a little bit of time on my hands now, which I wasn't sure I was going to get this early on, so I'm going to go ahead and open my advent calendars because I still haven't done that. So I'm going to start with the Fabric Godmother. The 9th is right there in the middle. My sewing tip is use washi tape to mark clearer seam allowances on your sewing machine. I do that one, particularly if it's something with a less typical seam allowance, because I routinely sew most of my patterns will be 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, and occasionally I'll sew something with say like 3/8 of an inch, and I feel like I'm gonna forget, and so I do put a piece of tape along that part. So this feels a little bit like washi tape. Oh, it's a pretty one. So washi tape, if you're not familiar with it, it's a Japanese tape, W-A-S-H-I, and it's made from paper, so it's fully recyclable. The other nice thing about it is the sticky bit. It sticks, but it doesn't leave goo and adhesive behind. I don't know if I would necessarily leave it on my sewing machine for months on end, but I've definitely left it on for a week and taken it off and it didn't leave any trace of any gunk behind. And it's always nice to have more to add to my collection because I do have quite a bit of it, but you can never have too much because it's easy, it's cute, and it's just very practical. All right, Kusmi tea time. Number 9 is down here. All right, this one is called Green Ginger Lemon. It's a ginger lemon flavored green tea. Well, that sounds very nice for the winter time. I think that'll be a really nice warming one. Not sure if I'll have it this evening. I might leave it for tomorrow, but I think I'll enjoy that. Now, I did want to give you an update on my knitting. I've been working on my tiny tree sock. I'm doing the 3 different colors on the one sock. It has been absolutely hilarious to make. I don't know how easy it's going to be to show you guys, but I have turned the heel here. The heel is so small because of course it's a tiny sock, and it's coming together well. It's been pretty straightforward to make. So it is very much like making socks, knitting socks. And the thing that's funny about it is because it's so small, everything is just scaled down. So what would normally be 30 stitches is 10 stitches. And normally you would be, say, like decreasing for, I don't know, 15 rows or something. And I'm only having to do it for 1 or 2 on this sock. So it's like, okay, now we're going to move on to this step. Do this a couple of times. Done. Let's move on to the next step. Whereas before, when I've made socks, it takes a while to get through each step. So it is, that's the timer to flip my baked potato. So I'm going to go do that in a second. But I will say that this has been really fast and satisfying and very entertaining to put together. So I'm going to be making more of these socks for sure. I'm not going to stop at just one, but obviously I'll get this one finished first. The other thing I need to update you guys on is the Advent candle. So I just feel like I'm cursed with Advent candles because last year I had to give up before the end of the month. I'm going to have to stop burning this one. I don't know if you can see the black that's forming on here, but basically once it gets to an area where it's burning, where there's a large portion of the tree, it starts to produce this really horrible black smoke. I did actually film a little bit of it yesterday so that I could show you before I blew this one out, because it was getting to the point where it started smoking again. I just feel like it is not good to be having that kind of black smoke in my house. It's not good for me and my husband. It's not good for the atmosphere. Everything looked like it was just black and smoky, and I just felt like it's not worth it. I have to just give up on the Advent candle. All I can say is I tried, guys. I'm clearly not meant to have this Advent candle burning throughout the whole of Vlogmas, even if I do enjoy them. It's just clearly not meant to be. I feel like this has been a fun day. I really loved getting to see so many Postbox toppers. I mean, wow. I feel like I should just briefly mention as well, because some people have asked me some questions in the comments. Somehow in my head, I feel like everyone who's watching my Vlogmas watched my Vlogmas last year, which is completely unreasonable, and I know that's not true, but I feel like so many of you have. It's like catching up about something we talked about last year. So anyone who doesn't know, basically the post boxes here in the UK are usually just plain, obviously. And during the pandemic in the area where I live, there's a group of crafters, a group of knitters who decided to put these fun toppers on top of the post boxes. There are tons of them everywhere, and I know I will not be able to find them all before the end of Vlogmas because they crop up at different times. So the one that I just showed you most recently is really close to where I live. It was not there earlier when we went out, and it was there when we came back from our trip. So it's just appeared today. So they're going to be appearing all throughout December, and I will love sharing them with you as much as I can find. Apparently it's not just where I live. I know this is something that happens a lot of places throughout the UK. I've heard quite a few people mention they've seen them. I know I've seen them in Oxfordshire where my mother and father-in-law live. And yeah, clearly St Albans is very big on having their postbox toppers as well. If you have any good ones, let me know. I would love to hear about them. I would love to see them. If you want to send me a photo on Instagram, you can DM me. I'm at Lost My Thread over there as well. Genuinely, I cannot get enough of these postbox toppers. I love them, and I love that each one is unique. I feel like it really is each knitter's or crocheter's creativity coming out, making what they want to make, and it just really cheers the place up. So it's been really fun to spot so many today. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled, and I know I'm going to be seeing more, and I'll make sure to share them with you guys throughout the rest of the month. Now I need to finish up the dinner, and I will be working on my sock a little bit before I go to bed as well, and I'll be sure to catch up with you guys all tomorrow. Bye!